Alright, live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Day in History, aka TDH. I am Xander, and you viewer are you. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us. What is today's date? It is Thursday, aka Thursday, April 30th, 2026. It's the last day of April, right? Yeah, tomorrow's March 1st. The show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. And before we start us off, just to let you know, we have a pretty hefty... Wait, this is not the right one. Oh, wait, no, I haven't even scrolled up to the top here. This is the right one. Pretty hefty document for today. 38 pages long, but I'm going to just blow through this. So let's see if I can make it in an hour. So starting with the year 311, Roman Emperor Galerius issued Edict of Toleration, ending persecution of Christians in the Roman Empire. Great. You know, a lot of people don't understand how persecuted Christians have been and still are today. I mean, you know, look at what's going on in North America, especially in the States and in Canada and whatnot. You know, a lot of churches and stuff were closed during the pandemic, never to be reopened, and a lot of pastors had issues with the law, all sorts of stuff. Messy things happening. Anyway, what else do we got here? Where did my document go? Is this it? Yeah, there we go. 313. Actually, before I continue, it's telling me to image search this. So I think there's actually, let's see here, image with, here we go. Christians themselves, for some reason, had followed such a caprice and had fallen into such a folly that they would not obey the institutes of antiquity, end quote. Finally, when our law had been promulgated to the effect that they should conform to the institutes of antiquity, many were subdued by the fear of danger, many even suffered death, end quote. But we shall tell the magistrates in another letter what they ought to do, end quote. Yeah, so here we go. In 305, Galerius forced Diocletian to resign. Galerius became ill. Christians convinced him it was God's punishment for persecuting them. Edict of Toleration pardoned Christians, allowed them to pursue their faith and to assemble together, required them to pray to their God for the emperor and the public good. So there you go. Anyway, 313, Licinius unified the Eastern Roman Empire under his rule. That's pretty big there. 1305, Roger de Flor, leader of the mercenary Catalan Company, was murdered, leading to widespread pillaging by the mercenaries in Thrace. 1315, French Chamberlain Enuguerd de Marigny was hanged on the public gallows at Montauban after being convicted of sorcery. What year? That's 1315. So where are we? Here we go. There it is, right there. Yeah, Enuguerd de Marigny was hanged at the instigation of Charles, Count of Valois, according to the other source. 1349, Black Death massacre. Jewish community of Rodolfsville, Germany, was exterminated. That's a disgusting word to use in this context, but it tells us what happened. 1396, Crusade of Nicopolis, one of the last large-scale medieval crusades, departed from Dijon, led by the Count of Nevers, eldest son of the Duke of Burgundy. Right here. No, the Count of Nevers, how do you pronounce this? 1483, orbital calculations suggested that on this day, Pluto moved inside Neptune's orbit until July 23rd, 1503. All right, yeah, we covered it when they did that more recently. 1492, Christopher Columbus was given royal commission by Spanish monarchs Isabella I and Ferdinand II to equip his fleet to the new world. Other source says Spain gave Christopher Columbus the commission of exploration. He is named Admiral of the Ocean Sea, Viceroy, and Governor of any territory he discovers. 1492, Spain announced it will expel all Jews. What? Why? That's not good. 1513, Edmond de la Pole, Yorkist pretender to the English throne, was executed on the orders of Henry VIII. Yikes. 1527, let's see here. There we go. So, yep. 1527, Henry VIII of England and Francis I of France signed the Treaty of Westminster, pledging to combine their forces against Holy Roman Emperor Charles V in an attempt to win War of the League of Cognac. Okay. The League of Cognac, is that some kind of alcohol, like club or something? 1557, Macapusi leader Luacho was killed by Spanish forces at the Battle of Mataquito in Chile. 1562, Jean Ribault and colonists arrived in Florida, the first French colonists in North America. Ooh. 1563, Jews were expelled from France by order of Charles VI. Here we go again. Like, what's going on? And this was removed from primary sources. It was 1563. Yeah, it was right after this one right here. And yeah, it was there at one point. 1573, the spire of Beauvais Cathedral in France, which made it the tallest human-made monument in the world at the time, collapsed. It was never rebuilt, unfortunately. It's telling me to image search this. This is, of course, one image. You can see where it was. Like, you know, there used to be like a whole bunch more structure here, it looks like. But let's image search this this architectural marvel. I was debating between that and this image here. Ultimately, I used the image prior, but this shows the rest of the cathedral and where, like, because you can tell, like, it looks empty right here. So, what else do we got here? 1598, the first theater performance in America, the Spanish comedy Rio Grande. Okay. 1598, Henry IV of France issued the Edict of Nantes, allowing freedom of religion to the Huguenots. Okay. 1636, during the 80 Years' War, Dutch Republic forces recaptured a strategically important fort from Spain after a 9-month siege. Now, well, I wonder what the fort's name though was. You know, if it's strategically important, you know, you would name that if anything. 1671, what do we got here? Peter Zrinski, the Croatian band from the Zrinski family, was the Croatian band. I'm not sure. It's a weird thing to read here. He was executed for treason. That's not good. Yikes! What did he do? 1722, the game of billiards was mentioned in New England courants. All right, billiard balls. You can see that they're numbered here. Looks like billiards is vastly different than pool. Pool, of course, has like solids and stripe-colored balls and everything, with the solid black 8 ball. And that looks like to be the cue ball because everything else is white. So, never really been made aware about how do you play billiards and all that stuff. 1763, member of Parliament and journalist John Wilkes was confined in the Tower of London, charged with seditious libel. And basically, they didn't like what he had to say. So, yeah. 1774, Pope Clement XIV proclaimed a universal jubilee for the second time. What is a universal jubilee, you may ask? Well, I want to know too, so I'm going to do a surface level scratch of this. Jubilee in the Catholic Church is a special year of remission of sins, debts, and universal pardon. In the book of Leviticus, a Jubilee year is mentioned as occurring every 50th year, during which slaves and prisoners would be freed, debts would be forgiven, and the mercies of God would be particularly manifest. So, if you want to read more about Jubilee, I'm going to start the underbar section here. So, Jubilee. These links will be in the underbar of the description below after the live stream, of course. Moving on up, what do we got here? 1789, George Washington was inaugurated as the first president of the United States of America at Federal Hall in New York City. On the balcony of Federal Hall, specifically, on Wall Street in New York City. So, yep, took the oath of office to become the first elected president of the United States, according to a secondary source. 1798, U.S. Department of Navy formed. Yep, we're gonna need that. Oh, here's George Washington getting inaugurated. I gotta keep up on this side here. So 1803, Chancellor Robert Livingston and James Monroe signed the Louisiana Purchase Treaty in Paris at a cost of $15 million, doubling the size of the U.S., the United States of America. Yeah, this is them. You can kind of see right here. What is that? It says France right there, but that doesn't look accurate to Europe, so I don't know what map that is. But this looks like it's a map of the Louisiana Purchase here. It's just off of, the actual painting. It's showing the people right there. But I'm going to image search this really quick, just to show you. It was a massive Louisiana Purchase here. Hold on a second. Louisiana Purchase map. Right here. So actually that's, I won't really show you. Here we go. So this is, everything in red is Louisiana Purchase. So for the most part, I don't think it was really connected really yet, but the United States was still heading to the west from all the various colonies along the East Coast here. But this was the Louisiana Purchase. Interestingly enough, very small part of it was actually in nowadays Louisiana. but it encompassed Arkansas, Oklahoma, a little portion of northern Texas there, half of Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, a lot of Minnesota, South Dakota, like half of North Dakota, most of Montana, and majority of Wyoming. That's huge. Oh. What else do we got here? 1808, the first practical typewriter was finished by Italian Pellegrini. So, Pellegrini, an Italian inventor, invented a mechanical typing machine, one of the first typewriters, for his blind friend, Countess Carolina Fantini da Fivizzano. Alright, so cool, yeah, no, like, she couldn't write because she's blind, but if she knows, especially, like, if there's Braille or anything like that, or if he has it marked so she knows what key is what, letter, she can write books as a blind person. Dude, that's phenomenal. That's awesome. Wow. I hope the Loon is watching this video, because like that it would have been great to have him here. Like he's out in he's out with family for the next couple of days right now. He's gonna come back on Cinco de Mayo actually. So 1812, Eastern Louisiana was admitted as the 18th U.S. state. Yeah, the territory of Orleans became the 18th U.S. state under the name Louisiana. Oh yeah, so there, we were talking about the Louisiana Purchase, and then so 1803 to 1812. That's 9 years later. So it takes a while for government to do things, So 1838, Nicaragua declared independence from the Federal Republic of Central America. Declaring independence, yeah, nice. In 1857, San Jose State University formed. Okay. 1859, U.S. Paul Morphy, widely regarded as the world's best chess player, retired after returning from a 10-month chess tour of Europe. Okay. Charles Dickens in 1859, A Tale of Two Cities was first published in literary periodical all the year round, weekly installments until November 26. So he published his book in weekly installments, not in one whole book as we are used to it being done these days. 1861, what else do we got here? U.S. President Abraham Lincoln ordered federal troops to evacuate Indian Territory during the U.S. Civil War. Yep. 1863, Battle of Chancellorsville in Virginia. In a major victory, General Robert E. Lee's troops defeated larger Army of the Potomac. I'm trying to find it here. There we go. Under Major General Joseph Hooker, Stonewall Jackson was fatally wounded. So yeah, like I think if I have my my historical lore correct, we all know about the term hookers, but where did it actually come from? As I said, like if I have my history correct, from Hooker, the general, right here. Like he hired ladies of the evening, prostitutes, to spy on the Confederates. To spy on the Confederates. Hooker was a Union officer. So then they were known as Hooker's men. Later became known as hookers. So, if I have that correct, but I think that's correct. Anyway, 1863. Also Stonewall Jackson was fatally wounded. So that's Stonewall Jackson, I believe, got hit by friendly fire on his way back to the lines, to the front lines on his horse. 1863 here, Mexican forces attacked the French Foreign Legion in Hacienda Cameron, Mexico. A 65-man French Foreign Legion infantry patrol fought a force of nearly 2,000 Mexican soldiers to nearly the last man in Hacienda Cameron, Mexico. Wow. So, this one right here. There we go. So, and I think, because Cinco de Mayo is is essentially the Mexican Independence Day when they got the French out of there. Pretty interesting. We got the English out of there, out of here, with the help of the French and the Polish and whatnot. So then our neighbors of the South, were being taken over by the French. So European powers back in the day, you know how they are. 1864, New York became the first state to charge hunting license fee. All right. 69, Hawaii YMCA was organized. 1871, the Camp Grant massacre of Apache Indians in Arizona Territory was committed by white and Mexican adventurers. 144 people ultimately die. Gruesome. 1880, the Metropolitan Museum's new premises opened at its current site at 5th Avenue and 82nd Street, designed by Calvet Vall and Jacob Wary. I'm going to image search this really quick. What is that? Okay, that's Niagara Falls. We'll get there eventually. But what do we got here? Oh yeah, here's the building. You know, like it looks cool and everything. But I for whatever reason I just didn't want to look it up. You know, to add it to the thumbnail, and you know, it looks cool, but I'm happy with the thumbnail the way it came out today. 1885, Henry Lee Higginson started the popular music series with the Boston Symphony, which evolved into the Boston Pops Orchestra in 1900. Okay. 1885, Governor of New York David Bill Hill signed legislation creating the Niagara Reservation, New York's first state park, ensuring that Niagara Falls will not be devoted solely to industrial and commercial use. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That would have been disastrous if that just became just an industrial zone, man. Like, everybody has to go see Niagara Falls and then turn slowly. What else do we got here? 1887. First game played at Broad and Huntington State Park, Baker Bowl in Philadelphia. Phillies defeated the Giants 19-10. 1888. The Morabed hailstorm. Hailstones allegedly as big as oranges killed 246 people and some 1,600 sheep and cattle in Moradabad, India. Wow. Holy crap, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, we have 1889, first U.S. national holiday on centennial of Washington's inauguration. All right. 1897, English physicist and head of the Cavendish Laboratory, J.J. Thomson, announced his discovery of the electron in a lecture to the Royal Institution. Yep, it's right here, that dude right there. Other source, J.J. Thomson of the Cavendish Laboratory announced his discovery of the electron as a subatomic particle over 1,800 times smaller than a proton in the atomic nucleus at a lecture at the Royal Institution in London. That is remarkable. 1898 championship wrestling match at Met turned into a brawl, so everybody, started fighting. Wow. Casey Jones in 1900 died heroically in a train wreck at Vaughn, Mississippi, while driving Cannonball Express, immortalized in Ballad of Casey Jones. Now, is that like a movie or something? I didn't actually look this up. Casey Jones, who's a railroader. Let's see here. Well, it was a horrible train disaster. Looks like the Ballad of Casey Jones is a song. Yeah. I'm going to have to look that up here, actually. You know what? I'm just going to... Ballad of Casey Jones. Let's see here. Oh, it's Johnny Cash. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to not play this, but I'm going to put this in the underbar here. So, Ballad of Casey Jones. There you go. Alright. Let's continue on here. What else do I... Oh, yeah, I just want to put this over here so I don't accidentally delete it. So, 1900, the Hawaiian Organic Act was enacted by U.S. Congress, making Hawaii a U.S. territory. You know, what we did to take Hawaii as a state was truly, absolutely reprehensible. What else do we got here? 1900 as well, the Washington, weighing in at 170 pounds, British former world heavyweight boxing champion Bob Fitzsimmons knocks out 270-pound Stadion and dunk host in round 2 of a lopsided bout in Brooklyn, New York. So this guy had 100 pounds on him, and he still kicked his ass. Scary, fighters are, so... 1903, New York Highlanders, later to become the Yankees, inaugural home opener at Hilltop Park in Manhattan, defeating the Washington Senators 6-2. 1 year later, ice cream cone made its debut in St. Louis World's Fair, invented by Ernest A. Hamwi, independently of other claimants, Italo Marchioni in New York. So, ice cream cones. Everybody likes a good old-fashioned ice cream cone. 1905, the first official soccer game between neighboring countries, Belgium, Netherlands. Dutch won 4-1 at Olympic Stadium, Antwerp. So, yeah. And why is this... Hold on a second. Why is this connected here? And this is important here. 1905, Albert Einstein completed his doctoral thesis at the University of Zurich. Yeah, I almost skipped that. 1907, Honolulu, Hawaii became an independent city. Cool, nice. Happy birthday, Honolulu. 3 years later, the Cleveland Nets, Addy Jost limited St. Louis Browns to 8 hits in a 2-1 victory. 1911, Portugal approved female suffrage. Excellent. Now the women get to vote over there. 5 years later, 1916, Germany ratified a bill introducing daylight saving time, the first country in the world to do so. So all you out there who hate daylight savings time or love daylight savings time, then you can hate or love Germany because of it, and that wouldn't be the last time Germany would do something that a lot of people would hate or love. Well, a lot more people would hate in that case, I would hope. 1919, Phillies defeated Brooklyn Dodgers 9-0 in 20 innings. 1920, the British government ended military conscription. And 1 year after that, the first U.S. Professional Football Association championship in 1920, undefeated Akron Pros was awarded the inaugural title. Congratulations. 1921, Pope Benedict the 15th encyclical on Dante, honoring the poet's enduring influence on Catholic thought and Italian literature. All right. 1922, Chicago pitcher Charlie Robertson threw a perfect game as the White Sox defeated Detroit Tigers 2-0 at Navin Field. 25, automaker Dodge Brothers, Inc. was sold to Dillon Reed and Company for $146 million, plus $50 million for charity. So that's cool. So they threw in like another $50 million just for charity. That's nice. We need more of that today. 27, the Federal 30 Industrial Institute for Women opened in Alderson, West Virginia, as the first women's federal prison in the United States. Oh, that's not good. But, there's some psycho bitches out there, so sometimes they need to be behind bars as well for the safety of themselves and others, 28, Shirki's Autonomous Region formed an RSFSR and, lasted until 1957. 29, Ernst Schirrtz became Chancellor of Austria, lasting less than 5 months. So, what, did Hitler knock him out or something? What happened? 34, Austria got the Austrian fascist constitution, so that's not good. Oh, there we go. Oh, yikes. 35, World Congress for Women's Rights concluded in Istanbul. I wonder what the outcome was. Istanbul is in Turkey, and isn't that predominantly Islamic? And women don't really have many rights in those type of societies. 37, the Philippines held a plebiscite for Filipino women on whether they should be extended the right of suffrage. Over 90% would vote in the affirmative. And something I learned just yesterday, Filipino, as in the people, is an F, but the Philippines, the place, is a P. So if you ever wonder how you spell Philippines versus Filipino, the land is the P, and the people are the F. So there you go. What else do we got here? 1939, FDR became the first U.S. president to appear on TV when NBC RCA Television broadcast the opening of 1939 New York World's Fair. All right, and that's what this is. Really small image and everything. That's what TV looked like back in the day, black and white, and very fuzzy. But hey, it's broadcasting, images through electricity. It's fascinating. People take all this stuff like this computers, things, stuff on the screen for granted. Very few people actually stop and take a step back and look at how all this stuff actually works and thinks about it. If I left you stranded on an island with nothing but a stick and rubber band, how long until I can get an email? What else do I got here? 1939, Lou Gehrig set an MLB record playing his 2,130th consecutive and final game for the New York Yankees. Dang, that's a hard worker right there. We also have Tropaganda Ballet of Havana, Cuba formed. Okay. 1940, Air New Zealand, then known as Teal, made its inaugural flight with a flight from Auckland to Sydney, later becoming the first airline in the world to boil hot water in flight to offer customers hot tea and coffee. Well, that's a question I never even knew I had. When was the last time they boiled water on an airplane? The first time they boiled water on an airplane. Well, there you go. I love this. I love doing this show. It's I learn something new every day. It's great. 42, the first submarine built on the Great Lakes was launched, Peto, Manitowoc, Wisconsin. So it was like the Peto, Geppetto. Weird. That's a weird name. 43, Bergen-Belsen concentration camp for Jews formed. Yeah. I did a short video about Bergen-Belsen many years ago with somebody else being the narrator. 1943, Dutch strike against forced labor in Nazi Germany's war industry. Yep. I think is that the milk strike that we spoke about yesterday? Because that happened in the Netherlands as well, right? I think. 43. Noel Cowards play This Happy Breed. Premiered in London, written in 1939. Production was delayed by World War II. Yep. 43. World War II. The British submarine HMS Seraph surfaced near Huelea to cast adrift a dead man dressed as a courier and carrying false invasion plans. This is for it's actually non-primary source, it's on secondary source, but this is to this is like the very beginning of the distraction campaign for Operation Overlord, D-Day, you know, the Great Crusade, the invasion of Normandy during World War II. And so, because they had documents that, like, you know, because you know, like the inflatable tanks and all that stuff, and then like they had Patton like at the head of a fake army to trick Germany into thinking that it was going to come through the Pas de Calais, but not Normandy. This is how it all started. So, 1944, New York Giant Weintraub got 11 RBIs. All right. 94, New York Giant, 44, New York Giant Mel Ott scored 6 runs in one game, drawing 5 walks for 4th time. Wow, that's a lot of numbers right there. Right there, yeah. 1945, the greatest contribution this guy ever did to the world, Adolf Hitler committed self-deletion along with his new wife, Eva Braun, in the Fuhrer bunker in Berlin as the Red Army captured the city. Yeah, bye-bye, but anybody who knows a thing or two, like, knows that he probably didn't do that. He fled to Argentina, but by now he is, dead, of course. 45, concentration camp, Mukchen Allen was freed. Good. Lord Haha, William Joyce, called for a crusade against the Bolsheviks. Yeah. 45, Red Army opened attack on German Reichstag building in Berlin. And we have the Soviet Army freed the Ravensbrück concentration camp. All right, a lot of people getting free. Grand Admiral Karl Dönitz took over as the head of the state of position in Germany, following Adolf Hitler's self-deletion. And we have also during World War II, Stalag Luft 1 prisoner of war camp near Barth, Germany, was liberated by Soviet Union soldiers, freeing nearly 9,000 U.S. and British airmen. Wow, that all happened in 45 on the same day, guys. A lot of stuff happened. That's it. The closing of the of World War II in Europe, at least. So I think VE Day. You know what? I'm gonna look this up here. When was VE Day? Let's see. May 8th. So it's coming up. Yeah, another 8 days, and it'll be VE Day. So yeah, this is the last hiccups of World War II in Europe. 1947, Boulder Dam was renamed in honor of Herbert Hoover to Hoover Dam. I've been there. 48, this is Loons time. 46, the Cleveland Indians pitchers Bob Feller's second career MLB no-hitter beat New York Yankees 1-0. So, Loons time. I almost missed it again. 1948, Organization of American States chartered, signed at Bogota, Colombia. Okay. The Organization of American States was established. 52, Mr. Potato Head was the first toy advertised on television. Oh, that would have been a cool thing for the thumbnail, like Mr. Potato Head. So this is the very first one here. Wow, that's he's come a long way. He lost his body though somewhere. Like, I wonder what happened. 53, Little Bigger League changed its name to Babe Ruth League. And this was, what, 52, 53, yeah, here. So Little Bigger League. That's a weird name. 55, Cuban band leader Perez Prado's Mambo version of Cherry Pink and Apple Blossom White went #1 for 10 weeks. Okay. Element atomic number 101, Mendelevium, was announced. It's an interesting word there. The Imperial Bank of India was nationalized. Curse you, Rothschilds. 55, West German unions protest for 40-hour work week and higher wages. All right. 56, former Vice President and Democratic Senator Alben Barkley died during a speech in Virginia. Yikes, what the hell happened? He died during a speech? Did he get shot? Or, did he just have, some rando heart attack or something? What happened? Whoa, what is that? Last words. This looks haunting. So I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna add this to the underbar if anybody wants to look that up. Yeah, it's not telling me anything right off the bat. So yeah, let's see here. Alben Barkley speech. So Uh, just know that it's going to be potentially grim, so I'm going to keep that over there to watch after the show. 57, Supplementary Convention on the Abolition of Slavery entered into force. Excellent. 58, Ted Williams, right here, was the 10th Major League player to get 1,000 extra base hits. Woo. 61, Tossin' and Turnin', Tossin' and Turnin', single released by Bobby Lewis, Billboard Song of the Year, 1961. You know, this is another song I want to listen to, so bear with me. I'm going to look this one up as well and just, like, have this over here. So, what else we got here? 61 as well. First shuttle flights between Washington, D.C. and Boston and New York City began. Eastern Airlines, I suspect. Yeah, this is 61. Is this even? Yeah, this is right here, yeah. 61 as well, we got that one. 60, yep, K-19, the first Soviet nuclear submarine equipped with nuclear missiles, was commissioned. 62, NASA civilian pilot Joseph A. Walker took the X-15 to 75,190 meters. That's up there. 63, the Bristol bus boycott was held in Bristol to protest the Bristol Omnibus Company's refusal to employ black or Asian bus crews, drawing national attention to racial discrimination in the United Kingdom. What the hell, United Kingdom? Like, that's not nice. 66, Anton LaVey founded the Church of Satan in San Francisco, California. Of course, California. Godless place. You see, Los Angeles is called the City of Angels because, you know, when Lucifer, who was an angel, fell, he landed on Earth somewhere. Maybe there. I mean, he was an angel. I mean, now he's a devil, if you believe in that. So, and then we have the City of Angels. I wonder what that means. So, I mean, Hollywood is satanic, so, I think I might be onto something there. 67, MLB Baltimore Orioles, Stu Miller and Steve Barber lost 2-1 despite no-hitting the Tigers at the Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. 67 as well, Osaka, the Ostankino Tower, the then highest freestanding structure in the world at 540 meters, was finished in Moscow, Russia. That's a pretty tall tower. Yeah, I remember seeing that as a buildable wonder in SimCity. 68, 3 Oriole pitchers walked 14 New York Yankees in a 9-inning game. It's a lot of walking there. 69 as well, Cincinnati Reds pitcher Jim Maloney recorded his second MLB no-hitter in a 10-0 rout of the Houston Astros. 70, Cubs Billy Williams was the first National Leaguer to play the 1,000th consecutive game. All right. National League player, NLer. 70, U.S. troops invaded Cambodia. Why? Why are we invading Cambodia? That's weird. 72, Arthur Godfrey time ended a 27-year run on radio, so maybe it's no longer time anymore. 73 as well, U.S. President Richard Nixon announced the resignation of H.R. Haldeman, Ehrlichman, and others. So, Watergate scandal, U.S. President Richard Nixon now announced that White House counsel John Dean has been fired, and that other top aides, most notably H.R. Haldeman and John Ehrlichman, like, weird name, dude, have resigned. So, 73, women's tennis groups ended dispute over sanctioning tournaments. All right, I hope they came to a mutual agreement. 74, U.S. President Richard Nixon handed over partial transcripts of Watergate tape recordings. 1 year later, North Vietnamese troops captured Saigon, ending the Vietnam War. So yeah, Communist forces gained control of Saigon. The Vietnam War formally ended with the unconditional surrender of South Vietnamese President Truong Van Minh. 76, Muhammad Ali defeated Jimmy Young in 15 for heavyweight boxing title. Okay. 76, Royal Canadian Mint opened a branch in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Yeah. 76 as well, the Betsy Ross Bridge, spanning the Delaware River from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Pennsauken, New Jersey, opened. I'm going to look this up here. I want to see what this bridge looks like. Let's see. The Betsy Ross Bridge. Betsy Ross, of course, being that lady who designed the first U.S. flag, if I'm correct. I need a bigger image of this. Yes, indeed, it is a bridge with bridge-like qualities and features. What else do we got here? 77, human rights group Mothers of the Plaza de Mayo began protesting at the forced disappearances of thousands under the military dictatorship of Jorge Rafael Videla in Buenos Aires. Yikes. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, horrible. 77, Ron C. set record of 29 RBIs in April. Okay, 79 as well. Eruption of Mount Merapi. Mount Merapi, a complex volcano on the Indonesian island of Sumatra, erupted. Between 80 and 100 people were killed. That's terrible. 1980 as well. Terrorists seized the Iranian embassy in London. So the Iranian embassy siege began in London. There you go. 82, Atlanta Braves won record 12 straight game from beginning of season. Okay. 84, 1,700 skiers participated in an alpine event in Ars, Sweden. It's a lot of skiers. We also have strong winds caused a 30-minute delay in Toronto Blue Jays game. Is my music even playing? It is. Okay, good. 85, Shaw, French documentary about the Holocaust, directed by Claude Lanzmann, starring Richard Glauzar and Raoul Hilberg, premiered in Paris. Okay. Dale Murphy drove in record-tying 28th and 29th runs of April, whatever that is, like some auto race thing, drove a record. So, 85 as well, last edition of the Brink Daily Mail and Sunday Express in South Africa. So 2 for 1. 86, Ashrita Furman performed 8,341 somersaults over 12 miles. What? Hold on, I'm gonna look that up. So you're just like somersaulting over 12 miles? Like that has got to make you dizzy, man. Let's see here. Yeah, this guy just he's just somersaulting. Oh, he just did it in a freaking track. Okay, now I understand. So he's just like somersaulting around in circles for 12 miles equivalent. Okay, that's cool. 86. 86. Bill Elliott set an all-time NASCAR qualifying record-winning pole for the Winston 500 at Talladega Superspeedway, 212.809 miles per hour, or 342.483 kilometers an hour, 44.998 seconds. I don't know what that last one is. Like, so... 86, Mariners struck out 16 times, sec record of 36 in 2 consecutive games. That does not sound good at all. That was 86, and that's, wait a minute, what the hell? Wait. So, this was 86, now it's 87? What the, that's weird. So, okay. Hold on a second. Discrepancy hyphen 87 question mark. Oh wait, no, 87. There we go. AO's time, 1987. Lou Lamorino was named New Jersey Devils president. All right. What else do we got here? 88, New York Yankee Dave Winfield got his 29th RBI of April, setting American League and tied with MLB record. Major League Baseball record. 88 as well. The then largest banana split ever at 4.5 miles long was made along Market Street in Selins Grove, Pennsylvania. I would have liked some. That sounds delicious. Do they have any images of this? Yeah, so like it's just a regular ice cream sundae, but like they have it. You can't really see it that well, but it's along this trough thing right here. So let's see if I can. Yeah, see, it's basically like this. But it's on the it's outside, and they just have it going for 4.5 miles long of that. You know, here's some more photos of that. That would have been awesome, but at the same time, like, you know, I wouldn't eat any piece of that because God knows what fly, you know, landed on it, who coughed anywhere, who farted anywhere, you know, I don't know. 88 World Exposition Expo 88 opened in Brisbane, Australia. All right. A 1989 Chicago newspaper movie critics Gene Skissel and Roger Ebert filmed their 500th movie review television show. All right, yeah, Siskel and Ebert, or isn't there like Robert and Ebert or Ebert and Roper? Or, like who is the other guy with Ebert? Like they're the movie critics and everything. 89 Pope John Paul II beautified Victoria Rosamondoville of Madagascar. And we have U.S. defeated Costa Rica 1-0 in third round of 1990 World Soccer Cup. Yep. 89 as well. World Wide Web. The www was first launched in the public domain by CERN scientist Tim Berners-Lee, and that's removed from primary source. So I'm not sure if they're trying to erase it or if this is not when this event happened. So if anybody wants to look at that, like let us know in the comments. That'd be great. Speaking of comments, do we have any comments there? Nope. All right, moving on. What else do we got here? 1990, A's Met pitcher David Cone argued a call at first base. Two Braves score. Okay. 90, the U.S. hostage Frank Reed was freed after 4 years in the hands of pro-Iranians captors. Yeah, yikes. 92, the 208th and final episode of The Cosby Show on NBC TV. Yeah, I still think he's an innocent victim of the Me Too movement. Same with, what's his face? Louis C.K. I think they just, took the knee because it's just don't fight it because people are going to be an angry mob and not think rationally. So, 93, the World Wide Web source code was released by CERN. We already covered this in 1990, so maybe that's why it was removed in 89, but that's weird. So, yeah, now other thing was moved too. So, like, are they slowly moving historical things by 1 year or something? I don't know. Yeah, the World Wide Web source code is released by CERN, making the software freely available to all. And for those who do not know, www. Well, that's it, World Wide Web. So, or, yeah. 93 as well, Virgin Radio broadcast for the first time in the United Kingdom, Richard Branson's Virgin Company and all that stuff. 94, Formula One racing driver Roland Ratzenberger was killed in a crash during the qualifying season of the San Marino Grand Prix run at Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari outside Imola, Italy. Rest in peace. It's not even on the primary source here. 96, Dutch-Italian Beppo Sachs launched from Cape Canaveral. Okay. 96 as well, U.S. President Bill Clinton approved the sale of $227 million of crude oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. U.S. gas prices are at their highest level in 5 years. Yeah, well, they're pretty high right now, too. 97, 42 million people watch Ellen DeGeneres publicly declare she is homosexual. Okay, I didn't realize that many people gave a shit about her. 97, Atlanta Braves won a record 19 games in April. Okay. Big Ben stopped at 12:11 p.m. for 54 minutes. That's interesting. I wonder why. I'm going to do a surface level scratch of the article really quick. I have 18 minutes till the hour, and I'm already in the 90s, so I'm making good time. Yeah, it was... Oh, that's just history here. Yeah, London's iconic Big Ben clock stops ticking for 43 minutes. The most famous clock in the world, which strikes the note E every hour, failed to keep time. So, yeah, if you want to read any more... Well, this is from history, so, take that with a grain of salt. I mean, I post Wikipedia links in here, so might as well be this. So, Big Ben froze. Yeah. What else do I got here? 1997 as well. Rock for the Rainforest benefit concert held at Carnegie Hall, New York City. Performers including Sting, Elton John, James Taylor, Stevie Wonder, Lyle Lovett, Bobby McFerrin, Bonnie Wright, Sean Coven, and Zucchero. 97 as well. Tajik Prist, Imamoli Romanovnikov was wounded in an assassination attempt. Yikes. 97 as well, Tino Martinez hit a record 34 RBIs running batting ends, I believe, in April. 99, Cambodia joined the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, the ASEAN, bringing the total members to 10. So nice. That's a nice even number. Nice round number there. 99, neo-Nazi David Copeland carried out the last of his three nail bombings in London at the Admiral Duncan Gay pub, killing 3 people and injuring 79 others. Jesus, man. That's terrible. The year 2000, Pope John Paul II canonized Polish nun sister Faustina Helena Kolosowska as a Catholic saint. The first Divine Mercy Sunday celebrated worldwide. Yeah, in the presence of 200,000 people he did this in the year 2000. So, 2001, the Mitchell Report on the Arab-Israeli conflict was published. We also have U.S. Vice President Cheney, called for a increased domestic production of fossil fuels and increased usage of nuclear power to meet the United States' energy demand. And we're having some serious problems with that more today. A referendum in Pakistan on this calendar date in 2002 overwhelmingly approved the presidency of Pervez Musharraf for another 5 years. That sounds fishy. The U.S. media released graphic photos of U.S. soldiers abusing and sexually humiliating Iraqi prisoners at Abu Ghraib prison. I remember that. That was a disgusting, disaster. 2007, German Chancellor Angela Merkel officially handed over the Waldseemüller map, also known, or the oldest known document to name America, to the U.S. Library of Congress. Oh, well, thank you. Well, you actually did something good for once, Merkel, you fucking dunce. Ooh, look at this thing. Oh, I looked this up the other day. I remember this. Okay, that's an awesome map. Wow. Okay. What else do we got here? Why does it keep sending me back there? 2008, David Blaine set a new Guinness World Record for holding his breath underwater for 17 minutes and 4.5 seconds on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Like, dude, that's David Blaine. He's a spectacularist. Like, you know, he does, you know, shows. In my opinion, he should be, you know, he should be ineligible for holding world records because, like, he does things, you know, like, he doesn't actually do, it's all smoke and mirrors, man. So I think he should be stripped of that title because I don't think it's physically possible to hold your breath underwater for 17 minutes and 4.5 seconds, you know? So that's ridiculous. 2008, 2 skeletal remains were found near Ekaterinburg, Russia, confirmed to be Russian scientists, or they were confirmed by Russian scientists to be those of Alexei Nikolaevich Tsark of Russia and one of his sisters. So, wow. Oh. Yeah, so his entire family was executed at Yekaterinburg by the Bolsheviks. So, like, as you can see here, there's a substantial amount of stuff I have about this situation in history there on my document. 2009, Chrysler Automobile Company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. We also have a failed attack on the Dutch royal family, resulted in 7 deaths and 17 injuries. So 7 civilians and the perpetrator were killed, and another 10 injured at a Queen's Day parade in Apeldoorn, Netherlands, and an attempted assassination on Queen Beatrix. The United Kingdom formally ended combat operations in Iraq. Probably, you know, from the whole second invasion and everything that we did. 2012, Manchester City defeated Manchester United 1-0 in what is claimed to be the biggest match in English Premier League history. We also have an overloaded ferry in the Brahmaputra River, India, killed 103 people. Well, yeah, it's overloaded, you know. Buoyancy is a factor. 2012, Spain's economy double-dipped after a 0.3% contraction and 25% unemployment rates. That does not sound good. The unfinished One World Trade Center overtook the Empire State Building to become the tallest building in New York. You know, New York, Manhattan. 2012, UNESCO celebrated the first International Jazz Day with a day-long celebration in Paris, a sunrise concert in New Orleans, Congo Square, and a sunset concert at the United Nations in New York City. Performers included Tony Bennett, George Benson, Terrence Blanchard, Herbie Hancock, Hiromi, Angelique Kidjo, Lang Lang, Shankar Mahadevan, Hu Maseka, and Esperanza Spalding. All right. I want to go back, though, like, you know, that was, I just thought about it while reading all that. I lived during a time when the Soviet Union was still around, like, and when the Twin Towers were the tallest buildings in New York, and then they weren't, because, you know, 9/11, but then, like, you know, for the second time in history, the Empire State Building was the tallest building in New York, and I was alive during the second time. That's wild, you know? And to those who've been alive since before the construction of the Twin Towers, you've experienced both times. You know, that's some pretty crazy stuff to think about. 2013, U.S. toddler Hannah Warren, at the age of 2, was born without a trachea, which is your windpipe, becoming the youngest patient to receive a stem cell bioengineered organ. She unfortunately, though, did die of complications several months later, and surgeon Paolo Macchiarini was later convicted of research-related crimes in Europe. Well, like, they tried to save her life, though. I mean, she was born without a trachea, man. You know, you can't breathe without a windpipe, you know. 2013, Apple offered the largest bond offering from a private company of $17 billion. So there it is right there. 2013, Bollywood actor Rajesh Khanna was declared the first superstar of Indian cinema at the Dada Hashashed Phalke Academy Awards. Which Bollywood actor is this? I mean, like, I've not seen a single Bollywood movie, but I've seen a lot of funny scenes. I don't recognize this guy, unfortunately, though. So, I gotta culture myself a lot more. Stop sending me back to YouTube. 2013, William Alexander became the first male monarch of the Netherlands in 123 years, following the abdication of his mother, Queen Beatrix. Oh, that same queen who survived that assassination attempt. 2014, mass gunmen and pro-Russian separatists took control of more buildings in eastern Ukraine. 2015, messenger spacecraft was intentionally deorbited and destroyed. 2015 as well, Whitney Museum of American Art held ribbon-cutting ceremony with Michelle Obama and, did I really mark this? Yeah. And New York Mayor Bill de Blasio for its new building designed by Renzo Piano. Okay, well, if I knew that, these people were involved, freaking Michelle Obama and New York Mayor, I gotta read articles more. I just saw, Museum of Art. Okay, read about that. I like museums. 2018, coordinated double suicide attack killed 36 people in Kabul, Afghanistan, including 9 journalists. 2018, Etienne Terrace Art Museum in Lyon, France, revealed half of its collections were fakes. Yikes. That is not good. We also have a new species of water beetle from Malaysian Borneo's Malayalu Basin, named after actor Leonardo DiCaprio. How would you like to have a beetle named after you? That sounds interesting. And didn't they name like a caterpillar, like the Trump caterpillar? Here it is. The Grovenelius Leonardo DiCaprio. Weird. Hold on a second. Trump caterpillar. Isn't there like a Trump caterpillar? Yeah. The Neopalpa Donald Trumpy. And wow, it's all on the West Coast. I might have seen one of these. Like they gave it that name because this is what its caterpillar looks. It looks like his hair. Like that's Trumpapillar. So, yeah. What else do we got here? 2018, Pakistani city of Nawabshah set global record for an April temperature, recording high of 50.2 degrees Celsius. What is 50.2 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Let's check really quick. Come on. In F. No. In C to F. Is this going to work? Okay. 122.36 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot. Okay, that's toasty. Yikes. 2018 superhero film Avengers: Infinity War set a new record for an opening weekend, earning $250 million in the U.S., $630 million worldwide, according to Disney though. So it might just be all bullshit. World's oldest known spider, a female trapdoor, died after being killed by a wasp sting in Western Australia at the age of 43. Who is looking after how long a spider's alive? That's wild. So apparently spiders can get to be at 43 years old. So there's potentially a spider out there that's older than me right now. That's kind of concerning. What else do we got here? 2019, Japanese Emperor Akihito declared his abdication at a ceremony in Tokyo, which officially took effect the following day. And we also have a new type of dementia was identified and named limbic predominant age-related TDP-43 encephalopathy, or late, after misdiagnosed as Alzheimer's disease. Yikes. 2020, British Captain Tom Moore, who raised more than £30 million, that's pretty heavy, Doc, for the National Health Service, walking in his garden, turned 100 and made an honorary colonel by the Queen. Okay, that's pretty cool. We also have the Eurozone. Where is it here? Economy shrunk at negative 3.8% between January and March of 2020, the fastest rate on record, with Eurobank President Christine Lagarde warning the second quarter will be even worse. Gee, lady, that's grim news there. South Korea reported no new domestic cases of Kung Flu for the first time. Their virus cases peaked back on February 19th. Okay. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson stated that Britain was past the peak of the Kung Flu outbreak, so there's that as well. And then we have U.S. President Donald Trump claimed Kung Flu originated in the lab in Wuhan, while the Office of the Director of the National Intelligence saying the virus is not man-made. So, believe what you want, take things as they will. So, 2021, 45 killed and 150 injured in a crush of people at the Israeli Lag B'Omer festival at Mount Meron. And I want to go back. I believed it did originate in Wuhan. It wasn't bat stew or any of that crap. It was a leak. So, 2021 as well. Australia announced a ban on citizens returning from India. stranding 8,000 people and making it criminal offense to return. Amid India's COVID-19 crisis, first democratic country to do so. Crikey. Oh, that was what, 2021? Yeah, that's it right there. 2022, Bac Long Bridge, the world's longest glass-bottom bridge at 632 meters, opened in Moc Chau Island, Mountain Park, Vietnam. And I could have sworn that we covered this yesterday, or would it have been a different glass-bottom? No, this looks like the same one. Like, this looks very familiar. We looked at this yesterday. So, you know. So it was either yesterday or today when this opened. 2022 as well. Brock Purdy was selected by the San Francisco 49ers with the final pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, becoming Mr. Irrelevant. That's why this article is here. What's Mr. Irrelevant? What's the joke here? We also have Jackie Hunt Broersma. Set world record for winning 104 consecutive marathons in 104 days after surviving cancer and with a prosthetic leg. Wow. Wow. So this guy survived cancer. He's missing a leg, but he still did one marathon every day for 104 days consecutively. That is Jackie Hunt Broersma. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but, you know, massive kudos to you. Yeah. 2023, country singer Willie Nelson hosted the second of a two-night 90th birthday concert for himself at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, California. Guest performers including David Matthews, Emmylou Harris, Keith Richards, Bob Weir, Margot Price, Nathaniel Ratcliffe, Dwight Yoakam, Sheryl Crow, and Billy Strings, among others. 2023, Seattle Kraken became the first NHL franchise to earn its first ever playoff series win against reigning Stanley Cup champion, eliminating Colorado Avalanche in 7 games. And last but not least, New York Police Department, the NYPD, arrested about 300 Gaza protesters at Columbia University and City College of New York after 2 weeks of protests in New York City. And that shall conclude the show for the day. One final sweep to see comments. None there. None there. So yes, once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including my link to all things on the Coalition. A lot of history has it continues to be made on a daily basis, and we only brought you a portion. We're down to our 38 pages, as I said at the top of the show, 38-page script there. So, yeah, it is up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness, with a yearn to learn, to see outside what you think you know, to grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common ground with those who see their opinions differently from our own and find a better way to be better to one another. For your dose of Fast Events Daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander, and you are you. Thank you once again for coming in and watching us. And until you catch us next time, whenever it is, wherever it is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection. Right